Hello, this is Redithin, coach of the Tennessee Tynamos of the TBU. Yes, if you I haven't actually made an official announcement on my channel, however, now I have. The Tynamos are in the TBU for this season, also the final season of the TBU, so pretty exciting there. So yeah, we're just gonna try to go in, take some lives, if Rizzy Powell can win a championship, so can me. Just kidding, I love Riz, but anyway, that's not what this is about. This video is about my draft that it's a little late. I'm sorry about that. I just didn't have a good time to finish it. However, now I am. So yeah, finally we're getting this draft analysis in. If you follow the TBU on Twitter, or me at that, about like half of the draft was already revealed. However, the rest of the half was to be revealed in draft analysis. So finally you'll get to see my entire team. So anyway, about the draft system. The draft system of the TBU is very complicated and confusing. I'll hope I remember to link a video in the description that is on the TBU channel that is that kind of explains. I think it's on the TBU channel. I don't know. It's somewhere, but it kind of explains the format. I'll link that. If you still don't understand it, I don't blame you. But you'll see my draft anyway. So I mean, you don't have to get it. However, if you don't know how it works, then just check out the video. So anyway, let's get right into the first pick, and that was Mega Pincer. In this draft this season, since it's a Wi-Fi league, all megas are unavailable, so megas are not required. However, Mega Pincer is just something that I really wanted to try out. Rufus recommended it to me, actually, because he used it really well, and if he can use it, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that again. But yeah, Mega Pincer, really one of the most probably definitely top 10 megas in the format. I'd say it'd be at least like top 7, top 5. It's very good, and you can see why just because of the stats. Base 155 attack with the Aerialate ability. This thing just absolutely rips apart teams once they're weakened enough. Whether that be what am I getting at? Oh yeah, whether it be by return or the wide array of coverage it gets, which is actually not that wide. However, if you get Earthquake in close combat along with Flying Stab, you're solid. You need like nothing else basically. And also, of course, we can't forget about Quick Attack. That big Aerialate boosted Quick Attack. This thing, it just does damage. And yeah, that's basically Mega Pincer. It's a great cleaner. Especially if you can get like a Swords Dance up, you're pretty much just gonna have a good time. And of course, you can't forget about the buff this gen that all megas got. This helped Mega Pincer a lot because normally it has only base 85 speed, which underspeeds most of the metagame. However, upon Mega Evolving, it gets 105 base speed, which is above average. I said down here is average speed, which it's a tad above average. However, it's going to be outspeeding a lot more things that Mega Pincer used to not be able to just Mega right away on. So, yeah, that's huge. Of course, we got the Rock weakness, and it also does not get U-turn or Leech Life, which is a bit unfortunate. However, like I said, the flying and the fighting or ground stab is really, or ground moves is really all you need. So to counteract that 4x rock weakness, we took in round 2 an S tier mon, Skarmory. So we got like the dual flying types here, which is pretty cool. However, they only share one weakness. No, they share 2 weaknesses. That's electric and fire. So they don't share the rock weakness or the ice weakness, which is nice. So Skarmory, we know Skarmory's deal. Of course, I used it in the GPC. It was fantastic. We know what this thing does pretty much. Comes in, takes hits, usually on the physical side. However, since its physical defense is so high, it's able to run a Spadef set very nicely. And of course, you got your... It just does Skarmory things. Set up your Stealth Rock, set up your Spikes, Defog, Roost, Whirlwind around. do whatever you really need it to do in that regard, and that's why I felt it was worth the pricing the S tier. Probably one of the most reliable defoggers in the game, which is fantastic for something like Pinsir. And another thing Pinsir really appreciates is spike stacking, or hazard stacking, and Skarmory does that well too. So yeah, Skarmory is pretty much everything you really want a utility to be when you have Mega Pinsir. So that's why I figured, you know what, I should get this round 2. It's a great mon. Unfortunately, like I said down here below, it does have a bit of a 4 move slot syndrome, and that kind of sucks a bit when you want it to be like your main utility, because obviously you can't run like Stealth Rock, Spikes, Defog. You know, I mean, of course you probably wouldn't want to defog with that anyway, but you get the idea. So yeah, it is kind of you are kind of relying on it a lot. However, it's a very reliable Pokemon. Of course, you got Sturdy there, so you can live any hit from max HP. So yeah, it's just a very, very reliable mon, and pretty much worth picking to go along with Mega Pinsir. And of course, you don't even have to run like Flying Stab most of the time, because Pinsir pretty much takes care of that already. So yeah, Skarmory, we know Skarmory's deal. Skarmory's a cool guy. And in the third round, to help out these two fellows, I picked Raikou, the Thundercat. That wasn't clever. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Raikou. Of course, I mentioned the electric weakness before with Pinsir and Skarmory, and Raikou can pretty much switch into like basically every electric move. It's got great HP and Spitef. So yeah, this thing can just switch in on any electric type, and then just pivot around like Volt Switch, or go for like HP Ground, or it actually gets pretty good coverage. It can actually even like sub up and Call Mines. So yeah, it's a great pivot for that. Great Spitef. So of course, you can Mega Pinsir and Skarmory both have pretty low Spitef, and then Raikou just pretty much clears that up, comes in and pivots around. Like I said, God, I'm stumbling over my words right now. I'm sorry. So yeah, and also you can't stress enough that huge special attack and speed stats. So this thing is going to probably clean up a lot of games if Mega Pinsir can't. It just adds a lot of speed to my team that was actually pretty lacking in it prior to this. So yeah, Raikou's a cool dude. And in round 4, to keep a bit more sustain on this team, we picked up Florges. The beautiful, beautiful Florges. And Florges is mainly on there because of Wish, and pretty much only Wish. Obviously, I'm not going to need to Wish all the time. However, when you have a mon that is 4 times weak to rocks, and a mon such as Raikou that doesn't get any reliable recovery in itself, you're going to want to be able to have a Wish mon there to kind of sustain in the HP. And on top of that, it's a very solid Fairy type. While we did gain like a lot of Fairy types this gen, I think a lot of people overlooked the fact that there really isn't still a lot of bulky fairies. The only one we really got was Tapu Fini and Comfy, and neither of those get Wish. So if you want like a bulky Wish Passer Fairy type, you either have to go Florges, Sylveon, or Clefable. Those are both really expensive. So I was like, you know what, let's pick Florges. So yeah, Florges is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I really need to explain more about what it does, but you know, it's a Fairy type, sets up Wishes, and it's actually pretty strong, so it doesn't get usually like set up. It's not usually set up fodder because it can hit hard with those Moonblast. So yeah, that's deal with Florges. Useless abilities, of course, so nothing there, but it's a very solid Fairy type. Especially with Sylveon and Clefable being more expensive. It's a great pick for a tier B. So in the 5th round, we picked up Kommo-o, finishing off that Dragon Steel Fairy Core. And Kommo-o is actually another reason I picked Florges, because this thing appreciates Wish support a lot. And this thing is a jack of all trades, I would say. Just looking at its stats, you know, it can be a physical attacker. It can be even like a setup on both sides. Either you do like special attack or special attacking with Autotomize, and like Clinging Scales, which is a very, very strong stab move. I'd say that's probably one of the best dragon type moves there is. Or you can set up with DD and then just wreck stuff with your physical moves. Or you can even run bulky, because it's got like a boatload of immunities in those abilities, and with that typing, it's actually not a bad defensive typing. It has a lot of resistances. If you discount that 4 times weakness to fairy, it's a pretty good deal with Kommo-o. Can even run like Dragon Dance, but yeah, you just gotta look at those stats and realize, yeah, this thing basically is a jack of all trades. A little slow, so you might want to. That's the only concern with this thing, but yeah, I basically picked this thing just because of its typing. Because of course, Dragon Steel Fairy, we know how great that core is, and just overall going to be taking hits well alongside of Skarmory and Florges, and also yeah, just the fighting stab as well. It's pretty much a combination of what you would want in a dragon type and what you would want in a fighting type. So yeah, it's break down there to, you know, maybe break walls with its fantastic coverage. Maybe take hits with that typing and abilities. Really just whatever I needed to, and just rounding out the Dragon Steel Fairy core, like I said. So yeah, that's all there is to say about Kommo-o. And round 6, we picked up Suicune. And okay, so a bit of an explanation here. Suicune is a B tier, and at the time, the way we were drafting it, I kind of screwed up. I was actually using the wrong draft planner. However, Suicune is still on the team. Everything in this draft analysis is still on the team. However, this should have been a bench pick, and I would have gotten on the bench pick anyway. But I'm just saying right now, this should have been a bench pick, so I kind of screwed up there because of how we were doing the points, and later on how we couldn't have FYI mons drafted on the bench, which I ended up doing for the last one. But it's all confusing, and it's all good now. Nothing too bad. But yeah, there's a little scrum there about Suicune. But let's talk about Suicune itself. The other beast doggo on this team, and Suicune is there, like Florges and like Skarmory, just to come in and take hits. Really, I wanted this thing. The main reason, actually, of course, you want your bulky water. Bulky waters are like mandatory, I feel, in every draft. But also to take a bit of pressure off of Skarmory, because like I was talking about before, how Skarmory has the 4 move slot syndrome. It often can't run Whirlwind. With Suicune is probably one of the best phasers in the format. So pretty much Suicune can come in and basically fill that role, and come in and just shuffle stuff around with Roar. And with that fantastic bulk, it's not dying anytime soon. So yeah, really, yeah, Suicune just your bulky water with phasing capabilities. And also another thing I'd like to point about Suicune is that it's a bit centralizing in prep, because there's always the threat of Crocoon. Because usually Crocoon, if you don't bring anything to stop it, it'll just absolutely destroy you. So usually your opponent has to bring something to deal with Crocoon, and so it just adds a bit more pressure during prep, and allows Mega Pinsir to run a bit more wild when it comes to being a threat. So yeah, Suicune, good deal there. Next up in round 7, yeah, set the penultimate pick towards the last main pick. That is Skuntank, and Skuntank is my D tier pick, because I need a D tier. And what really is there to say about Skuntank? You just gotta look at what it does to really, we know what Skuntank does. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Pursuit. That's really it, because looking at my team, I do kind of struggle a bit with like bulky psychics, such as here, I'm not going to name examples because I'm probably going to name the wrong examples, but yeah, because in Pinsir's case, there's a lot of stuff that that I feel may be a problem for it, such as Mew, or I'm listing stuff now, such as Mew, or maybe perhaps Necrozma, or all those fun things. So oh, and Bulky Ghost too. The stuff that I don't even know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm recording this really late, but I hope you know what you're talking about. You all that's watching, you know what Pursuit does. So yeah, it's meant to trap a lot of stuff to threaten Mega Pinsir and Kommo-o, and really stuff that my team just doesn't have much to deal with to begin with. And yeah, it comes in and do that. You know, you also got your Sucker Punch, and yeah, I mean, Skuntank is really just a fantastic utility. I just liked it because it fit. I needed a Dark type because Dark types I feel are always necessary too, because Psychic spam can be annoying. And then you also got your Poison type there to kill fairies. And fairies are also a thing my team doesn't like too much, you know, going back to Kommo-o and all that. So, yeah, just great for typing, great utility, and also can even learn Defog. And of course, with Mega Pinsir, you can never have too many hazard removers, so yeah, that's basically what Skuntank does. Obviously, it's a D tier for a reason, because it's a tad slow, and it's pretty frail outside of that big HP stat. So yeah, it's a poor man's Alolan Muck, I feel. So yeah, there's Skuntank, and in round 8, for the E tier pick, I picked up Torkoal, and Torkoal is pretty much Torkoal again is like a Skuntank. It's pretty much a utility that I feel fits my team well. And of course, with the drought buff this gen, this thing's actually really good because it pretty much eliminates the water weakness. So now you really just gotta watch out for rock ground. Yeah, you've just gotta watch out for rock and ground moves, which are usually primarily physical, which is fantastic for Torkoal because it has that ridiculous 140 base defense stat. So pretty much with drought, this thing is going to be living hits like there's no tomorrow. And on top of that, it has Stealth Rock, and let's also talk about Rapid Spin, which is really, really, really good for my team. Of course, I talked about a spike stack or a hazard stacking before with Skyrander out there, and of course, as we know, Defog gets rid of hazards, so just having at least one spinner on this team is fantastic. So I'm not forced to get rid of any spikes that I carefully set up all 3 layers on in situations. So in situations where I need the hazard stack. So Rapid Spin is really good on this team, and also I don't know, just having the Fire type on there too. You can never. I like Fire types a lot. That's really it. But yeah, this thing can do other stuff too. You know, it's got some good coverage with some pretty decent special attack, and I feel like this thing's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm not going to say what I have in store with it, but I have like a lot of ideas. I guess you see the Mimi set up here. We'll get into that eventually. But yeah, Solar Beam too. I can't not talk about that with Drought. So it has a really good grass move now. So yeah, Torkoal. We'll see what you can do. And so that does it for the first 8 picks that are already on the team. So next we're gonna go into the draft picks, or the bench picks. I'm sorry. And so for the first bench pick, I picked up Mudsdale, and this was the electric immunity that I've been needing with, finally, with the 3 electric weaknesses, and Mudsdale is, I'd say Mudsdale is one of the better electric immunities. See, it's only D tier. I feel like it's only D tier just because no one's really gotten a chance to see what it does. If you been following my Showdown videos, you would know that I used a Mudsdale to very great success. Another good phaser actually. And this thing is, unlike a lot of other ground types, it's only pure ground, so it doesn't have any like 4 times weaknesses to grass or ice to worry about, and it also has very good HP with a pretty good special defense too. So this thing's gonna be living HP ices like pretty well. So yeah, it's overall just a great switch into electric types, and you've also got that fantastic base 125 attack. It actually has pretty great moves like Earthquake, Close Combat, and Heavy Slam and Rock Slide are really all you need as far as coverage goes. So, and of course you got Stamina too, which is pretty good ability. So, Mudsdale is just a great low tier ground type, and yeah, I felt it was good to kind of balance out my weaknesses. So next up, from my next bench pick, an E tier pick actually, and that is Meloetta. And Meloetta doesn't particularly fit a role on this team. However, it just seemed like, you know, it fell right into my lap pretty much. Because of course you got the normal psychic type. Both types are that I actually lacked and that I wanted. And it was an E tier. And like, how can I pass this up for E tier pretty much with that typing? So, yeah, that was basically Meloetta. We know what Meloetta does. Comes in, hits really, really hard on the special side. It can even run a pirouette form if I really needed to. So, one of the problems with Kommo-o is that its strongest physical fighting stab is Sky Uppercut. However, with Meloetta, I have another option to have like another cleanup fighting type in the pirouette form. And that's really nice to have. So yeah, Meloetta, great move pool, just all around a solid mon. So yeah, so Meloetta, I just thought it was a nice fit, so I picked it there. And then the final bench pick, and this was the one I screwed up, that ended up being an FYI. I should have picked earlier, however, it didn't end up mattering and all that. But it was here. Let's see. It was Gourgeist. And in this draft, Gourgeist gets access to all 4 forms. So yeah, for FYI pick, it is a really, really good value. You know, just takes physical hits for days, and of course has that pretty solid Ghost Grass typing. It has quite a few weaknesses, I think 5. However, it has of course 2 immunities because of the Ghost type, and overall just a lot of solid resistances, as well as that fantastic move pool that it gets. You know, it gets Will-O-Wisp, Synthesis, Foul Play, Leech Seed, Rock Slide, Shadow Sneak, and yeah, just pretty much does whatever you need it to. And of course, it can run different roles, such as like a sub-seed set with the small form, or even like an attacking set, or you can go like super and just take hits for days. These are the stats of the average form, which I probably will never run. But so yeah, this thing is just pretty versatile as far as grass types go. So, you know, I figured it'd be a good hit, you know, good fit, round out that fire water grass core I have with Suicune and Torkoal. And also it even gains a bit from Torkoal's Sun too, since it can get those more powerful synthesis. I don't know, what's the plural of synthesis? That's yeah, in the comments, tell me what the plural synthesis is if you've made it this far. I really don't know. Anyway, so for the final pick, of course, if you follow me or the TBU on Twitter, you know that the final pick is a voter pick. So basically, we submitted four mons that fans would get to vote for, and whoever won the poll won. And actually, my choices were Pyukumuku, Mawile, Cryogonal, and Vileplume. Yeah, it was those 4. Pyukumuku actually won. However, Leo also won Pyukumuku, and based on how we were deciding, it was pretty much reverse draft order on who got on if there was like a tie. That was the tiebreaker, whoever came first in reverse order. And since Leo got Pyukumuku, I was forced to get the second highest voted mon, and that was Mawile. And of course, I'm not mad about that. Mawile is adorable, on top of being a really cool mon. And so Mawile, it has some really, really awful stats. But that's literally the only bad thing about it. It's got a fantastic typing, access to Stealth Rock, which is pretty nice because my team is kind of lacking in terms of variety with Stealth Rocker, because I really only have Torkoal and Skarmory for that. So yeah, definitely. Oh, and Mega Pinsir, but I mean, who's gonna run? I'm not gonna run Stealth Rock on Pinsir. Let's be real here. But yeah, it just adds another rocker. Also, it is a pretty nice pivot with the Tom Pass, and even like past Swords Dance and stuff. So it has very good utility, on top of Intimidate. So this thing is actually going to be taking hits pretty well, along with that typing. So I mean, it's so the stats kind of hold it back like a lot. However, you know, it even gets sheer force, so you can run like an offensive stat pretty nicely. So yeah, this thing on first glance is pretty terrible. However, I feel like it's a really good fit for my team, and I think it's gonna be pretty helpful. So we'll see. I have to use it once. That's kind of the rule with the voter pick. So we're gonna be bringing it once this season. I can guarantee that. So let's see what it can do. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. So yeah, that is the entire draft. That is the Tennessee Tynamos of the TBU Season 4. Let me know what you think of the team if you made it this far yet again. I always feel like I have to say that because I don't know if anyone actually like watches my videos all the way through, other than Rufus. I know you watch my videos, and thank you for that. But but yeah, if you enjoyed, please leave a like or subscribe if you'd like to see this team do more action in the TBU, see how it does. Or just because you like me, because that's fine too, and I like you too. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. This has been Redithin, and I will see you in the next video, which I don't know. It could be more League stuff. It could also be showdown stuff. Who knows? But yeah. Goodbye.